As part of this presentation, we will be actually completing quests. And for every quest that you complete, you'll get some points. As you accumulate points, you level up. And when you level up, we're going to make this raffle a little different today. Every time you come in, you get a raffle, and it's equal probability of winning a raffle, right? But today, the guy who does well has higher probability of winning. So at every level, you get an extra raffle ticket. So if you're at level 1, you get 1. At level 2, you get 2. And level 3, you get 3 raffles, which go into the drawing. And at the end, you're going to win an Amazon gift card. So there's one other rule that I would like all of you to participate in. It's like throughout this presentation, there are multiple opportunities to win badges. And when that happens, people raise their hands and you all applaud. It might sound silly, but believe me, just be with me till the end and it will be all clear why we do this. Okay? So before we delve into the presentation, let's talk about one of the burning problems that startups and most organizations face in today's world. What is it? They spend a lot of money, humongous amounts of money in customer discovery, customer validation, acquisition, and customer engagement with the hope that it will generate loyalty and retain customers. But in reality, what's happening is startups are failing to capture customer engagement, which is resulting in decreased loyalty, decreased retention, and decreased growth. That is the fundamental problem that most of the companies face today. Are there any tools and techniques that this modern world provides us that we can equip ourselves with to tackle this problem? This is the presentation which will scratch the surface. So before I begin though, I would like to give a special mention to Rajat Baharia, the CEO of BunchBob, who wrote the book Loyalty 3.0. And this presentation is a great inspiration from this book. And a lot of content from this presentation has been derived in one way or the other from the topics that he has mentioned in his book. So let's first take a look at the traditional loyalty programs that companies employ today. Like what comes to mind when I talk about loyalty programs? Maybe your grocery Vic card, or if I ask you to show your keychains, I can see 10 probably loyalty cards hanging from your keyring today. Right? At the same time, punch cards. Buy 6 sandwiches and I'll give you the 7th one for free. So these are the traditional loyalty programs that we are all used to. So there are many drawbacks with these programs. For loyalty cards, imagine you will go to a store only until a point where a new store opens down the street which offers same products for lesser prices. So the whole loyalty program is a flaw in that case. Billions of dollars have been spent just on these programs, and at the end of the day, what they are generating is loyalty for a best deal as opposed to a loyalty for the company. So that's one of the flaws with the loyalty cards. And with the punch card, hey, we are all excited when we get the card for the first time and we see the first punch. And when we are all excited at the end when we see the last punch and we get the free sandwich. But in the middle, the whole motivation is gone. We are not motivated to make those extra purchases, and companies are losing out a valuable amount of time to capture customer motivation between the first and the last punch. That's one of the drawbacks of the traditional loyalty programs. Then what happened? Then computers came into existence and people started hiring computer scientists like you and MBAs like me, and we together started crunching numbers and developing models where we did customized targeted marketing, one-on-one direct mail campaigns. Sounds like a great idea, and it was, until everybody started hiring MBAs, everybody started hiring computer scientists, and everybody started crunching numbers. What happened? In my doorstep, I see 50 to 60 letters every day trying to sell me something. So targeted marketing was a big flaw as well. So, and it turned out to be much more expensive for companies to hire these people and was not resulting in any revenue that they were expecting. So is there a magic formula? So Rajat in his book mentions that if companies can understand customer motivation, apply the game mechanics, like gamify the experience, and with the help of big data, you can actually capture loyalty. And he calls that Loyalty 3.0. And we are going to talk about each of these elements in detail in the next slides. That brings us to quest 1. So what is the top reason for low customer loyalty. If you answer this question right, you're going to get 10 points. So there is a box in there. You just write down what is the answer and show it to the guy who is sitting next to you. And if the answer turns out to be right, just write down 10 points in that box. Okay, I'm going to give 5 more seconds because we have long presentation. Yeah, as I mentioned in the previous slide, it is low customer engagement. Because of low customer engagement, people are not getting the loyalty that they want from their customers. Okay, this also gives you all a new badge. It's the onboarding badge. So everybody gets an onboard badge. So you should have received a star sticker, and all I want you to do is take a star and put it on that badge. So it tells you that you have earned it. Any star, that doesn't matter. If you have answered this question right, and if you have got 10 points, which means you have level 1 as well, right? Level 1 is 10 points. So put a star in level 1 box as well. Okay, so let's talk about motivation. What is motivation? Because that's something that is important to understand if you have to really get the loyalty out of the customer. So businessdictionary.com explains motivation as follows. Internal and external factors that stimulate desire and energy in people to be continually interested and committed to a job, role or subject, and to exert persistent effort in attaining a goal. Sounds very complex, isn't it? But if we break that down into small chunks and read it and dissect it, I think things will be a lot clearer. Internal and external factors. As human beings, we are motivated either internally by ourselves or through external factors, where if you do this, you will get that kind of a thing, right? And that stimulates desire and energy. That is the cold fusion part of the motivation. That's the fire that ignites motivation in a human being. In people to be continually interested and committed to a job, role or subject. Our desire and energy have a context. We want to spend our desire and energy in things that are valuable to us. We just don't want to spend our energy in things which are not valuable to us. And to exert persistent effort, we want to do action. We don't want to sit down and passively listen. So everybody wants to do some action in attaining a goal. That's the whole point. At the end of the day, we want to do things to achieve something which has a reward value. So that's the definition. If we dissect it, that is exactly what that complex definition says. So there are two types of motivation factors. So as I mentioned, extrinsic and intrinsic. And to understand this better, I think I'll talk about the candle problem. How many of you here know about the candle problem? No? Good. That makes my life easy. So in 1962, a famous scientist called Glucksberg did a research. What he did was he asked two groups of people to solve this problem. And the problem is he gave them a box full of push pins or thumb tags and a candle and some matches. And he asked them, one group, that whoever finishes the problem fastest, I'll give you a cash award. And for the group 2, he said, there are no cash prizes, but what I would like you to do is solve it using your creativity and imagination, and time how long you took to solve it. And he said all those timings will help me in my experimental research. So that's the setup. So group 1, fastest, gets a cash award. Group 2, no reward, but he just wants times. Who do you think who won? Common sense says group 1, because that is what we are all used to, right? If you do this, you get that, we get motivated, we do it, and we win it. But it turned out group 2 did 3 times better than group 1. Very interesting, isn't it? We'll see why. So that's the solution, by the way. So that's the problem. The box full of pins. candle, and what he has, oh, probably I didn't explain the problem. Okay, so anyway, the problem was you have to fix the candle on the wall in such a way that the wax will not fall on the table. That was the problem. So when that was presented to the groups, as I said, the group 2 was much more